super speed? Just a question for you. I know what you're thinking. Why are you asking that question? Well, that'll come up later on. But for now, I am the past, I am the future, I am the present. It's your boy, Lost Soul. So now, Season 3. I know if you look on this page, you're going to see Season 4. Yeah, that's a typo. That will be corrected. But it's Season 3, Episode 2, called Triggers. And I gotta tell you, if you saw my review for the season premiere, I wasn't really feeling it. This one was better by about 50 to 60%. So this is how it started. It starts off everybody waking up in the morning. It shows relationships between Alex, Maggie, making breakfast for each other. It shows Kara. She's all alone, picking up what appears to be a journal, reading it. There's certain sentences that are underlined. She reads it. She starts feeling a type of way. She puts it back under her bed, which, by the way, she lifts up with one hand just to show the audience that she has incredible strength. You go, girl. She puts it down. So, the villain of the week is a woman called Sai. And in the Arrowverse, you know, each episode they have a villain of the week. And the villain usually focuses on a situation that the hero is going through at the moment. And in this case, the villain brings out what people fear the most in their lives. And honestly, I gotta tell you, a lot of people did not like this villain for the fact that it's villain of the week. Me personally, I actually liked it. I liked the premise that she had. For the fact that I put myself in her position, and if I had her type of power, I wouldn't fear anyone really coming up to me and want to fight me, because I could just dose them with fear toxins, a la Scarecrow. In fact, hey Gotham, maybe if they want to revamp Scarecrow, they could give him a meta power like that. Well, anyways. She starts off, she's basically doing what she wants. She's going to the she has history, she's going back to the bank, getting money, no one's stopping her whatsoever. So, Team Supergirl, they find out, and she goes to possibly save the day. Now, remember when I said, how come Supergirl never uses her super speed? Now this is coming around to explain why I mentioned that. Now, this could have been over so quickly if she didn't, talk her bravado. It seems like everybody in all the shows want to show, oh, this is my town. And they do a bravado type of talk before engaging in fisticuffs or fly-the-cuffs or whatever the cuffs may be. Now, she could have simply flew down, the villain turned around, she could just use a super squeak quick, cuff her arms, cuff her legs, whatever the case may be. So even if Sai was to use her scare powers, Supergirl would be all scared or whatever, but by the time the police came, Sai would have been picked up and basically the episode would have been over. But we know, CW, they had to stretch the moment. So she had to do her bravado talk, which brings me to another point. Going through season 1 and season 2, you figure that Supergirl would learn that whenever she talks to whoever the villain may be, at first the villain always destroys her. she talks and saying think it's gonna be an easy task, then the villain will like throw her across the room or do something with her hair or do some kind of something to make her weak. And you figure out through all the time she's been through the villains, by the time she came through this one, she would cut the chit chat, go for just go for the juggler, arrest her, do what she had to do with her super speed, end over. But no, she continues to do that bravado talk, and during all that, it's gonna come when she's about to engage. That's when Sai brings out her fear. And that's when it first shows her fear of being claustrophobic. She does, it's almost like a vertigo type thing from Arrow with the guy with that glass eye. When he did that whole thing and the room's kind of turning topsy-turvy. And all that happened. So basically, she ends up getting the money. She gives her line. Maggie comes, tries to calm her down, and basically that's what the most of the episode was about. But even though it seems like I'm bad mouthing it, it was actually a pretty good episode. Things I liked about it. I actually liked that part of Supergirl, of her like facing her fears. It's a new type of topic for her, new type of villainous powers, and it shows her what she has to go through to overcome it. She just can't like bury it under the ground and hope it never show up. Like, she has to face it. I also liked Sai as a villain. I liked her superpowers. I don't know if the writers were going to do this, but in my personal opinion, I think like she had the scare powers, but I think it's like, if you ever been in a hot tub, when you first step in, it's extremely hot, but eventually you get used to it and it feels nice or not so hot as it used to when you first dipped into it. I personally think that's how her powers were to people. If you keep on making the person face their fears, eventually they're gonna face them and conquer them, so that particular superpower will not work. So I did like that process of it. Another thing I liked, I don't know if the writers are like edging towards it, but the communication between Lena Luthor and Jimmy Olsen. Like, in my personal opinion, I think something's gonna happen between these two. There's gonna be a relationship going on, which I'm kind of sad, because during the whole of last season, it seemed like the writers were like teasing that she was a lesbian, gay. The way how she would like, even though Supergirl was her friend, the way how she would like look at her and do different types of smirky smiles, it almost seemed like she was like, she wanted Supergirl to be more than her friend. But maybe it was just me. You can put it down and see if you felt the same way. But this one, I'm gonna go out and say these two are gonna go like, as the urban joints say, knocking the boots. Something's gonna happen between these two people, in my personal opinion. What I also liked was the relationship between Maggie and Alex in this episode. In the last one, I said that when she asked John Jones to give her away for the upcoming wedding, I said I don't think, like, even though John said yes, she's going to, I think the big reveal and surprise is that her father is actually going to give her away. And it seemed like this episode, they tried to I guess swerve the audience into thinking a relationship, the relationship is gonna break up because Maggie doesn't want kids, even though Alex wants kids. But I think the writer just swerving the audience to think because in this internet age, everyone knows that the character playing Alex, that she's eventually gonna leave. So people think it's gonna be a nice wedding type adventure. Then both of them are gonna leave together. But the writers I think the writers are trying to make the swerve, saying that no, they're gonna break up, then Alex is gonna leave and Maggie's gonna stay. But I still going with my original plan, saying they are gonna get married and Alex's father is gonna end up giving them away. So I personally like how the writers are trying to sway the minds of the audience, saying that this relationship may not work. Another thing, I guess the one more thing I liked about this episode was I guess the whole fact of them discovering that there's like meta-humans, I guess, in this universe. Because of the three, yeah, Supergirl was the only show that never really had meta-humans. They had like aliens, and they had their natural alien type powers, but they never actually had a meta-human. I guess a human with I guess meta-human type of powers. So I like that Psy is actually like the first person with the meta-human powers. But now, you know what? Now come to think of it, Livewire is another one. So it's like two of them. So yeah, so it's two. I don't know why I forgot that one. So now things I just no, okay, one more thing I did like was Lena Luthor being professional. Especially towards Kara, aka Supergirl, when Supergirl is again acting, I guess, twatish, like having emotion, keeping everything bottled up. So I like the part where Lena thought that she was like kind of like upset with her because of the whole her boyfriend leaving thing, when in actuality Supergirl was busy like talking to the DO about where the villain was. But I can see how Lena Luthor thought otherwise, and I thought it was perfect when Kara said, I don't want to talk about my personal life, after she goes, okay, let's make this professional. You've been unprofessional about how you're doing things. Every time I asked you to do something, you said you're busy. I expected to be more on task. And then she basically put the lead down on her, so to speak. And I like that realism of it, because in real life, that would be a situation. Like, if you're like always, like, I was actually thinking of this the first time when she said, oh, I'm busy, gotta do something else over here. I was always thinking about, yeah, a real boss would say, yo, what are you doing? You better do this, or you could go find another job. You know what I'm saying? So I like that part. So I like that part when she's been real professional. You know what? I know there's something wrong, but you don't want to talk about, so I'm gonna be your boss now and just tell you to please stay on task. That part I liked also. Oh man, and I also forgot Rain. Rain and Ruby. I like that whole dynamic between the mother and daughter. The mother just wants a happy family, but the daughter wants something else. Just wishing that her mom was, a superhero. That whole dynamic, the dynamic I actually like. But now going to my dislike, I'll start with that. I don't like the fact that it seems like the daughter's all of a sudden all moody because she thinks her mother is a superhero, but she won't do anything about it. So she's letting it out on her friends at school. And also, this is very like preposterous in my account, like she's so like in belief that her mom's a superhero, she's willing to risk killing herself. Like when the whole situation with Psy and Supergirl was going on in the construction area, and there's a big boulder that are going around, and Ruby purposely put herself in a position so the ball would like fall on her with her mother there, so she would like force her mom to like use her powers to save them. Like, from a child, I don't get. It's like I put myself in that position as a parent, and if my child did that to us, like, man, that child would be going into a timeout, man. That's like, I'd like it would. I'd have a really strong talk with her, you know. Like that to me is just uncanny. That's the first thing like I didn't like for her. And the other thing, I never mentioned, I get mentioned this now, but I was always thinking about, like, I do not like the fact that they're like not only nerfed but super nerfed Martian Manhunter's powers. Like, in my opinion, if you're not gonna make him do all the powers he can, just don't give him any. I'm black and white in this situation, no shades of gray. Either give him all the powers or don't give him that at all. Like, it always seems like whenever he's having a psychic battle with another psychic, he always comes up with the quote, "This is the strongest psychic I've ever been with. This is the strongest psychic I've ever tuned in. This is the strongest psychic, I just can't do it." It's like, he's supposed to be the strongest psychic. He's supposed to have the Martian vision. He's supposed to be able to face. He's supposed to be like actually stronger than Superman. In fact, and way stronger than Supergirl. So, I guess for the fact that it's a Supergirl show, I could see why they don't want Martian Manhunter to outshine Supergirl. But, yo, man, you gotta give him something. In fact, he should have been the one that should have been battling Psy. It's not like his whole secret, his whole being a Martian is a secret. Like, everybody in the police know, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, at least everyone in that city knows. When he was ousted, I think it was last year or last year or in the first season near the end. So honestly, I don't even see why he's in that form. But that's neither here or there. Like, it should have been him that was going against Psy instead of Supergirl. But the fact that just the nerfing thing, I really don't like that. I really don't like that. I also don't like the way how they're using Jimmy Olsen at the moment. It's like he's become so much of a side character. He's almost becoming like someone that's not even mentioned. That's why it seems like, in my personal opinion, hopefully I'm wrong, it seems like they're gonna slowly write that guy off the show. Hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully I'm right about him and Lena Luthor starting a little thing. But that's really, in my opinion, just not acceptable with that whole thing. And another thing I don't like, even though Lena, she bought the company, she wants to be more head on, I don't like the fact that now she's like all up in arms and that. It seemed, okay, she bought it. It seemed, I don't know, when she bought it from the season premiere, I figured like, okay, she bought it, but she's saving all those other people, and she'll have like another boss coming in, or maybe, I don't know, making Jimmy Olsen the temporary like boss of the whole place, instead of her coming in and leaving Lena Corp to someone else. I figured it would be vice versa. So that part I didn't like. Another part, the final showdown with Supergirl and and Psy. I know Psy, okay, she got used to her power. She figured she doesn't have to fight because she can just scare people to death. But at the end, when she was like dashing out her I guess her fear bombs or whatever, and it's not affecting Supergirl in the least. I figure after 2 of them, at the most 3, she'll get the picture and run off, instead of making some kind of speech about saying no one could withstand what I'm giving to you, and she just keeps on dashing her with the like he's like make it realistic, try and take out. Obviously, Supergirl's gonna catch her or whatever, but it did that part made no sense to me. But everything coming up to that point, I actually really liked. I liked the part where Supergirl thought she had had Psy with the dampening thing, but that didn't work. It seemed very realistic to me. That was a good part. Something I didn't understand was her keeping a secret of her fear, because the previous episode it seemed everything was good. She was being more open about the situation with her her boyfriend Mon-El, and it seemed like everything was good. But in this one, yeah, she started keeping more secrets again. She even kept a secret about what happened in the elevator, I guess, until everything just blew up on her when she had that major fear about she thought her thinking that she killed Mon-El, like Mon-El was dead. So when that happened, and then when she finally told them, I was just thinking, I'm surprised she didn't tell them from the last episode how she really felt. But I guess going into here, I guess it magnified more for the audience to actually relate to her, which I did get that part also. But all in all, I did like it. Was a lot better than the season premiere. I also like the part where the Martian Manhunter seeing a vision of Miss Martian telling him to go back to Mars. So it seemed like the next episode is gonna be it's either gonna be focused on Martian Manhunter, or it's gonna be an episode where he's not gonna be there. Then the following episode is gonna be about Martian Manhunter. So overall, I give this episode, like I said before, I have my 3. I keep it simple. It's a that's what's up. It was chill. Step your game up. This episode was definitely a chill episode. But just going outside of this right now is like, okay, in this fictional universe, supposedly Mars, you can live on Mars. So I don't see why now, okay, Mars exists, people live on Mars, why they don't send like Earthlings there. I know they probably can't breathe the air, but you figure like they'll figure something out technology wise to make it breathable, or start the process at least, and just send Earthlings there, make John to use his little psychic abilities, at least helping the world, just open themselves up more to the universe, and put them on. So supposedly there's more Martians on there because that's where Miss Martian is. So have a little communication, build a little technology, and see what can happen from all this. I was just thinking that off the top of my head. Anyway, I don't know why that situation. But anyways, all in all, this was a chill episode. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you want to slap the episode with a big fat fish? Yeah, I'm gonna put your comments down. Give a like, give a dislike. And I'll see you on the flippity flop. It's your boy Lost Soul, giving you peace, love.